Kính thưa quý vị, đây là cái bản tóm tắt về cái vai trò quan trọng của cái hạt thyroid. Giờ chúng ta nên ăn uống, suy nghĩ, làm việc như thế nào để có cuộc sống vui vẻ, khỏe mạnh và bình an. Đó là mục đích của tôi.
This program, you'll experience better energy, mental clarity, and a dramatic reduction in your risk of heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, plus many forms of cancer. So let's get started. Our first presentation features Dr. David Minkoff. Dr. Minkoff will detail the first step towards eliminating thyroid dysfunction, how to correct hormone, vitamin, and mineral deficiencies in order to eliminate unwanted thyroid symptoms. And you'll gain a much better understanding about the biggest problem with conventional lab tests, plus what you should do instead. Enjoy this presentation with Dr. David Minkoff. David, thank you for joining us for the Thyroid and Adrenal Health Doctor class. I appreciate it.
Yes, good to be here.
You know, before we jump into a lot of important things about thyroid health, we talked a little bit off camera about something that I think is worth bringing up. And that is that in so many of my programs, which you've been a part of, by the way, thank you very much, so many of my online programs, we put out so much information, right? So all these people doing all these great presentations. And I think it is easy, rightfully so, for people to feel overwhelmed sometimes at the beginning. But it's this stress that we hear, right? That people are so stressed out. There's so much information, they don't know what to do. And on top of that, they're stressed out because they don't feel well. I wanted to get your feedback on what you think is so important for people to do first before they decide on what they should do for their health. Because a lot of times, in my humble opinion, I think that the stress feeling alone is so high that it stops people from thinking about what they should simply do. And I've often said that I feel like people really do know what to do, but when they're so stressed out, it's hard to make that decision. Do you know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean. I didn't think of this before, but now that you mention it, I think stress is a symptom of you're not actually here in present time right now. There's all kinds of things in the future that are potential fears, worries, haven't happened yet, probably won't happen, that it takes the person's attention out, and then all they're left with is sort of this no balance, this free fall. And so I think an easy thing a person could do is just, take a deep breath and then where at? I can feel my feet on the floor. I can feel my hands touching my knees. Just bring oneself back to, oh yeah, I'm actually here. And then I think with that comes an analytical that is, now I can prioritize, I can goal set.
And that's what I hope for everybody who's watching these programs. They listen to our conversations and they just come to these realizations. This is important to me and nothing is going to distract me from now on. I'm going to just do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I was telling you earlier about that. So I had some people come up from Miami. They're religious Jews. She is in her late 30s. She has colon cancer, serious disease. Her husband's with her. It was right before the Jewish New Year. So we're about ready to start the consultation, and he says to me, the husband, I want to set the stage right so that we have the perfect environment so that we can talk to each other and we can get the most from your advice. And I said, that's great. What do you want to do? He said, I want to blow it's called a shofar. It's a ram's horn. Okay? And right before the High Holy Days, the Jewish New Year, the ram's horn is blown to pull the congregation together. So he said, do you mind if I blow the horn here in your office? I said, no, let's go for it.
Yeah.
thì buổi sáng tôi nên ăn thế nào? Ví dụ một cái bữa gọi là một cái menu mà bác sĩ có thể đơn cử là ăn sáng, thì trưa, ăn tối như thế nào thì gọi là ăn theo kiểu địa trung hải lành mạnh.
Dạ vâng. Thì những người này họ ăn rất là đơn giản thưa quý vị. Bởi vì đây là mình phải nhớ là cái nguồn gốc của địa trung hải là những người trong ngành nông và họ sống trong những cái khu vực mà cá, đồ biển hoặc là các loại rau hoặc là ngũ cốc là lân cận hết rồi quý vị. Thì họ cũng hay ăn thịt gà, họ ăn trứng, họ ăn buổi sáng. Cái này họ sẽ uống nước lạnh bình thường thôi, chứ không có uống rượu buổi sáng thì hết thôi quý vị. Nhưng mà ăn ngũ cốc thì cái này họ chế được nhiều món là những loại rau mà họ xào ăn buổi sáng, thì cũng ăn nhẹ như giống như mấy ngày khác thôi. Còn buổi trưa thì họ ăn cũng tương tự giống nhau với quý vị, mà nó nhiều hơn một chút xíu. Và buổi chiều họ không có ăn trễ lắm, họ ăn thường là khoảng 3-4 giờ chiều là họ đã ăn xong, thì không có ăn trễ hơn. Nhưng mà thường những người đây họ thích ăn ở ngoài sân, không thích ăn ở trong nhà. Vì ăn ở ngoài sân họ thích là không khí trong